Okay, next is the tone stack. Now, different amps use different tone stacks. You'll notice that for the J45, the tweed-based tone stack is selected. The design of Marshall's JTM45 was heavily influenced by the early Fender Bassman amp. As such, the tone stack is roughly the same as it is here in Bias. Now I'm going to change this to British Crunch, which is more akin to the tone stack of a JCM 800. You can hear how that has more bark, sounds more aggressive, just like a JCM 800 sounds more aggressive. For the purpose of this video though, I'm going to shoot back to the tweed-based tone stack here. Also, you'll notice the tone knobs here at the bottom. Those simply mirror the tone knobs on the front panel of the amp. They're provided here so that you can hear how they interact in each tone stack. Next is the power amp section. First you have 4 choices of power tube topology, that is how the power tubes work. You have single-ended, split load, push-pull, and solid state, which approximates the tonal response of a solid state power amp. The master knob here once again mirrors that of the front panel of the amp. Next we have power tube distortion, splitter gain, and power gain. Above these controls you can summon a drop-down list here and select between 4 different tube types. You got 6L6GB, 6V6GT, EL34s, and EL84s. Once again, you can also cycle through these by just tapping on the tube graphics. Next, you have a bias control for the power tubes, and finally you have presence and resonate controls. The presence control again mirrors that of the front panel of the amp. In addition, you can set the presence control to a vintage or modern response, and similarly, you can also set the resonate, which is kind of like a low-end presence control, to a normal or more aggressive push response. Another often modified component in an amplifier is the output transformer, and Bias has that covered too. You can select between American style, British style, which is a little more fat, gives you a little more low end and enhanced highs, and fat style, which is basically akin to a custom high-end boutique transformer. I'm going to go back with American style. Additionally, you can select from between 2 different rectifier tube types or go with a solid state rectifier. A lot of classic amps use tube rectifiers while a lot of modern amps use solid state. The solid state rectifier generally tends to give you a more immediate response. Additionally, you have a compressor to further approximate the characteristics of a tube power amp. Finally, you have the cab section. Here you can choose from a large selection of speaker cabinets, and you got a bunch of them here. And also you got a couple different microphones, the SM57 as well as an AKG C414. Also, you can place the mic pretty much anywhere you want it here, and using the grid you can even move it closer or farther away from the speaker. Also, next to the mic and speaker here, you have a level knob. Now, I generally use this as the main output level for each amplifier. To me, the master volume control, just as with a real amp, the master volume control does affect the tone of the amp, so I use this level slider here to control the overall volume of each individual amp. After the cab and mic, you have the option of inserting another multi-band parametric EQ in to help you further sweeten your tone just how you want it.